Welcome to Microbiology department. General safety in microbiology. Introduction: Microbiology lab and safety. A microbiology laboratory is a unique environment that requires a special practices and contaminant facility in order to properly protect person working with microorganisms. Safety in the laboratory is the primary concern. The three main elements of the safe contaminant of microorganisms are good laboratory practices and technique, safety equipments, facility design. Safety tools: MSDS, PP kit, biosafety cabinet, awareness training, operational procedure of major instrument equipment, fire extinguisher, first aid kit, eye washer, body shower. The main For the safety, main rule is the stop, think and act. Safety rules in lab. Wash your hands with disinfectant soap when you arrive at the lab and again before you leave. Autoclave: no food, absolutely no food, drinks, chewing gum or smoking is allowed in the laboratory. Do not put anything in your mouth such as pencil, pens, labels, or fingers. Do not store foods in area where microorganisms are stored. Purchase a lab coat and safety glasses. Bring them into the class and use the alternatively a long sleeve shirt and buttons. Snap clothes is acceptable protecting cloth. This garment must cover your arms and be able to remove without pulling it over your head. Leave protective clothing in the lab and do not wear it other non-lab areas. Avoid fitting items of clothing. Wear appropriate shoes. Sandals are not allowed in the laboratory. Keep your work space free from all unnecessary materials like purses, coats should be placed in the cub holes by the front door of the lab. Disinfectant work areas before and after the use with 70% ethanol or fresh or 70% IPA. Replace caps on reagent solution bottles and bacterial culture. Do not open petri dishes in the lab unless absolutely necessary. Inoculating loops and needles should be flame sterilized in a Bunsen burner before you lay down. Turn off Bunsen burner when not in use. Long hair must be restrained if Bunsen burner are in use. When you are flame sterilizing with alcohol, be sure that you do not have any papers under you. Treat all microorganisms as a potential pathogen. Use appropriate care and do not take culture out from the laboratory. Wear disposable gloves when working with potentially infectious microbes or samples. If you are working with a sample that may contain pathogen, then extremely carefully to use good bacteriological technique. Sterilize equipment and material. Never pipette by mouth. Use a pipetting ad or adjustable volume pipetter. In the distant past, some lab personnel were taught to mouth pipette. This practice has been known to result in many laboratory acquired infection. With the availability of the mechanical pipetting device, mouth pipetting is strictly prohibited. Consider everything a biohazard. Do not pour anything down in the sink. Autoclave liquid and broth cultures to sterilize them before discarding. Dispose of all solid waste material in biohazard bag and autoclave it before discarding in the regular trash. Familiarize yourself with the location of safety equipment in the lab: eye wash station, shower, sink, fire extinguisher, biological safety cabinet, first aid kit, emergency gas valve. Dispose of broken glass in the broken glass container. Dispose of razor blade, syringe, needle, and sharp metal object in the sharp container. Report spill and accidents immediately to your instructor. Clean all small peels with care. Report all injury or incident immediately to the instructor, no matter below small they seem. Good laboratory practices and technique: handling of media and live culture, handling of major instrument equipment, handling of glass materials, handling of chemical hazards, handling of biohazards. Handling of media cultures: appropriate engineering controls to avoid contact with the skin, eyes, clothing, wash hands before, breaks, and immediately after handling the product. Personal protective equipment: hygiene measure: immediately change contaminated clothing. Apply preventive skin protection. Wash hands and face after working with the product. Eye face protection: tightly fitting safety goggles, face shield. Use equipment for eye protection tested and approved under appropriate government standards such as NIOSH. Skin protection: handle with gloves. Gloves must be inspected prior to use. Use proper gloves removal technique without touching glove outer surface to avoid skin contact with this product. Body protection: complete suit protecting against chemicals. The type of proactive equipment must be selected according to the concentration and amount of the dangerous substances at the specific workplace. Respiratory protection: when risk assessment shows air purifying respiratory are appropriate, use a full face aspiration and multi-purpose combination or type ABK respiratory cartridge as a backup to engine control. If respiration is the sole means of the protection, use a full face supplied air respirator. Use respirator and component tested approved under the appropriate government standard. Environment exposure: do not empty into drains. First aid measures: general advice: consult with physician, show the safety data sheet to doctor in attendance. If inhaled, if breathe in, move person into the fresh air. If not breathing, give artificial respiration, consult and a physician. In case of skin contact, wash off and soap and plenty of water. Consult with a physician. In case of eye contact, rinse immediately with a plenty of water for at least 15 minutes. Consult with a physician. If swallowed, never give everything by mouth to unconscious person. Rinse mouth with water. Consult a physician. Handling of major instrument equipment. Autoclave is the major instrument of microbiology lab and production area. So we have described what are the factors to be checked before the operation and after the operation and running the operation. Before the operation: water level, steam pressure to be checked, compressed air to be checked, gasket to be checked, drain valve to be checked, exhausted valve to be checked, door condition to be checked, temperature sensor to be checked, loaded material to be checked. During running phase: steam pressure to be checked, temperature to be checked, leakage of steam to be checked, abnormal sound to be checked, water level to be checked, chamber pressure to be checked, jacket pressure to be checked, compressed air pressure to be checked. After exhaust: never stand in front of door, never unload the material immediate after opening the door, always use heat resistant gloves for unloading the materials. Handling of biosafety cabinet, LF dynamic passbox. Operate the cabinet for 5 minutes before and after performing any work in order to purge airborne contaminant. Before and after use, wipe the surface of the biosafety cabinet with the suitable disinfectant, for example 70% alcohol or IPA. Place everything you will need inside the cabinet before beginning of the work, including waste container. You should not have penetrated the air barrier to the cabinet once work has begun. Do not place anything on the air intake grills, as this block in the air supply. You should prevent unnecessary opening and closing of the door because this will disrupt airflow on the cabinet. Always wear a lab coat while using the cabinet and conduct your work at least 4 inches inside the cabinet. Place burner to the rear of the cabinet to reduce the air turbulence. Do not work in biosafety cabinet while the ultraviolet light is on. Ultraviolet light can quickly injure the eyes. When finished and with your work, decontaminate the surface of any equipment. Remove the equipment from the cabinet and decontaminate the work surface. Thoroughly wash your hands and arms. Facility biosafety level and practices. According to biosafety level, labs are divided into four, four parts. 4 lab: BSL normal lab, BSL 1 lab, BSL 2 lab, BSL 3rd lab, BSL 4 lab, and each and every lab has different safety level. You can see this slide. Thank you. Safety start with you.